I'm Batwix, and welcome to the Ultimate Rise of Nations tutorial. The reason why I made this is I've already played the tutorial here. I don't think that good. I think it doesn't explain a lot of stuff. And yeah, let's get started. So when you join the game, you see your Rise of Nations. So the first button you see is Create New Server. Create New Server is starting a brand new server, and if you want to create a new server, you need actually 20 people. You have to wait. After, you have join by ID. If you want to join a server, because each server has their own ID, so if you want to join a server, you can just put their ID and join it. Then you have quick join, which just joins you to a random game. Then you have tutorial. You already got this one. Then, if you press here, it's updates. You can understand. Over here, on the top here, you can see that there is servers that have already begun. That's why. But even if it says new, server has already begun. So, let's get started to the game. When you join in the game, this is what you're going to be seeing here. So this is a server ID, just like I said, of the server you joined. Then you see return to lobby right here, and the players and their countries. So over here is the search bar and recommended countries. If you want to choose a random country, you can press this button, and it gives you a random country. But if you want to play as a country, first you have to choose a country. Like, if I want to choose Slovakia, I can right here, Slovakia. Boom. And it'll appear here, and I can press play, which picks me that country. But I won't be choosing that country. I'm gonna say, let's play as Chad. I don't know if Chad's a good example. I'll go Cameroon. So boom, we're in the game right now. So let's start with the first things that we find. First thing that we see. So we have our treasury here, our population here, our manpower here, and our troop count. So on treasury is how much money you have, and then if you hover over it, you can see your income and expenses, and then shows your balance. And then you have your population, how much population you get daily in like 5 days. Then your manpower, how much increases, and how much manpower you gain from like the population. So 147 is 2% of the population. Then it shows your military composition, how much military you have. Then over here you have your resources. So these are the resources in Rise of Nations. So you can see titanium, there's titanium there, there's oil there, the fertilizer there, consumer. But so fertilizer, consumer, steel, electronics, motor part, aircraft, and entrenched are all materials produced in a factory. So you won't see these in an actual map. Then after that you have biomes. So this shows what biomes are. So yellow is desert, and green is jungle, and yeah, and then blue is Arctic, like, yeah. Some you can use these as the geological defense, because it will increase the defense of the troops. And yeah, after you have your terrain, there can be, so there's red is mountainous, you understand. So there's jungle, 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 jungle. Well, you can understand, right? Then we have our political map mode. It's all political borders. Then we have ideologies. What ideologies does each person have? What is this? China is, yeah, you see, China is socialist, India is democratic, Japan is democratic, North Korea communist, and Vietnam is socialist. Okay. Then you have your factions. If you're playing a game with factions, it will show what countries are in the faction. Then you have diplomacy. So if I ally maybe Germany, I'll show that Germany is my ally. After, from map modes, you have diplomatic actions. Diplomatic actions can be that if I'm declaring war, so I'm going Central Africa, if I'm declaring war on them, I can justify as a conquest. and over here it will show as my diplomatic action, and it'll show me when it's going to finish, the date. Yeah. Then you have your military groups. You can show this by pressing military leaders and putting a leader on the group that you have. So you created a military group, and you can select your group from here. After, you have your trades. From trades over here, if you choose any, if you're trading anything, it will show you. If you're selling anything or you buying anything, it will show you there. Then it shows your resources. How much resources are you? How much consumer goods are you using? How much? What resources do you have? It says I have aluminum and I have iron and oil. Then outgoing aid can be like monthly. Let's say if I'm going to Ghana and I'm gonna give them aid, and I say monthly, I'll give Ghana like 2,000, and I'll show over here 2,000. I'll give them 2,000 yearly, and that's it for your front screen. On the top, you can see the date and all world interactions which are happening. Okay, let's start. So over here, every time you get something, you can get news like public scandal, like events which are happening in your cities, in your country. And you can see that, yeah. So after, if you want to access the tab, click on your country's flag, and then let's start with economy. So in your economy, it shows your income. So I get $27,000. I don't know, money from resources, and that helps, and that accumulates to my income, and it shows what are my expenses. My military upkeep is my expense, and yeah. Then after, you have your economic loss. Economic loss is like government spending, which government spending helps with base stability, rebel suppression, war exhaustion, and political power gain. And research spending. Research spending is for technology. Government spending is mostly for like stability. SCA 15 plus. It's mostly about stabilizing your country, of course, because it's government. After, then you have high, medium, high, maximum, low, minimum. The higher taxation you go, the lower stability you'll get. The lower tax you put, the higher stability. But lower tax, of course, means less money. After, let's go to technology. Technology is a very powerful tool in Rising Nations, because if I can get infantry technology and get all of infantry and get maybe anti-tank, I can literally destroy tanks. But if I didn't have this technology, I couldn't destroy tanks. So let's start with research. So research here, if you go around these texts, you can eventually get more research power. And after research, we have political. So political is mostly with stabilizing your country. Integration speed. Integration speed is when you're invading a country. Over here, you see. So over here, when you we'll show you, but when you invade a country, there's gonna be an integrating low bar here, and it'll be going up. So this will help with the integrating. And then resistance is helps with wait a minute. Helps with unrest in cities, because resistant. You get it. So mostly in an ideology improvement and unrest reduction. After political, you have support. Support is for artillery. Naval is for navy. Tank is for tanks. Infantry is for infantry. Economic is for economy. And aerial is for planes. After technology, we have military, which is one of the best, because this is a military game. Strategy. So you need a military. So when you see your military view here, it says your unit type and how much money you are using to upkeep them. Then you have your doctrines. So in here is your army doctrine. So for your army doctrine, this helps with mostly manpower. So if I go do balance, I'll get like the normal amount. But to change your army doctrine, you need to have 500 military power. And you get your military power from here. It shows how much military power you get and how much you have. So if I want to go mass attack, it'll help me. Infantry recruitment time 0.75 times, but the starting experience will lower. But if I go specialized, the starting experience will be higher. Same thing for the other doctrines. Then you have military groups. For a military group, you need a military leader. So if you want to make a leader, these leaders will help you with your military battles and anything. So let's say I want to make an army battle. So I click army, I use 300, and it says plus 10 movement to my troops. So I'll create a military group, and in that military group, I'll add my leader. And then I can add my troops to assign them to my military leader, which will give them times 10 movement. After, there's another button which is ongoing wars, which tells what is going on in the world. Then you have your own diplomacy. So if you view your own country, you can release countries and also show your allies, subjects, truces, or wars. But let's say if I want to go to the Central African Republic, I'll see their diplomacy. So I can declare war, formalize, make puppet state, justify war, send aid, fund rebels, view cities, and view trade. So if I want to attack them, I have to justify war. There's conquest, but I already pressed that. There's conquest, subjugation, or liberation. Let me get a better example. So if I want to justify on Chad, I have to justify war first. It can be a conquest. Conquest is to take their land. Subjugate is make them like a puppet. Liberate is that if they have a country in them, you can liberate that country. Then, when you get your justify war goal, you can declare war, choosing that conquest spell, and then declaring war. After, you have form alliance to make an alliance, or making them puppet state, send them money, fund their rebels, view cities, and then view trades. Like what trades are they having? Maybe they're selling some stuff. So yeah. After that, you have your country. In your country, you have your country, your ruler, and what's your capital. Then over here, you can have decisions. And in these decisions, you can see if I have this decision, I will get 10 plus stability. But I need to conquer all of this. So I need to conquer all these cities. So all these lands. Yeah. After in your formables, you have your ideologies. So socialism, communism. So if you want to go here, here, here. So if you want to go with factories and like manpower production, you want to go socialism or communism. But if you want to go with mostly economy, yeah, you want to go with democracy. But if you want to go with having less upkeep for your troops, that means you can mobilize more, you should go fascist or nationalism. Then you have your policies. So these policies are very good because they help you a lot, but the bad thing is that they use your political power. The thing is that you can use your political power to change your ideologies. See, you lose 3 stability when you're changing your ideology, but you need 250 political power. So if I use this, I'll get 0.7 political power maintenance. So that means I'll be getting less political power. Yeah. Then you have your modifiers. If you have any in-game or an event modifiers, it will show them there. Then you have your ranking. Ranking is mostly based on your economy, not trade. It's like tax, resources, or reparations. Then factions. If you want to make yourself a faction, create a new faction, but you need 2,500. Yeah. After that, you have disarmed, volunteer, limited, extensive, required. So these are conscription laws. They increase the amount of people in your population which can go to the army. So increasing your manpower limit and increasing your manpower. How much people, like how much manpower you get. So you can if you want to change a conscription law, you have to get it requires 200 political power. Means you have to use 200 political power. Then you have, so if you want to change these three, you can only change in peace, but these two you can change in war. You can only change in war. Then you have your war exhaustion, political power, and then stability. Perfect. Now we're done with this part. Next, let's go back to our political map mode, and let's just take that off. So now you see that your country has cities, right? So if you want to declare another country, you have to click on their city, and then click on their flag, and then justify. If you want to declare war. Then, let's say, if you check on Europe here, you can see a lot of people right now are industrializing with electronic factories. And we can see that by going to here, electronics, we see. Germany is making electronics. Looks like, I think Switzerland is socialism? Guessed it. And so you can see that they're making factories. So these factories help with the economy, and yeah. So I forgot this, I'm very sorry. But if you go to city overview, you can see how much, what tier your city has, how much population, how much manpower, and how much tax income you're getting from that city. Then you have your research and trade. This is where you can trade with other countries. Let's say if I want to make, let's go to like the city. So if you want to click on a city, you'll see the tier. If you want to move your capital, it's 250 political power. Then you can build a road. Building a road helps with, if your troops move with this road, they'll move faster. So like you can put this next to mountainous terrain so you can move your troops faster. Then resources tells us what resources it uses, and units. So if we check here with units, infantry, you can use infantry. So it says it'll cost you 1 million, but it will and 10,000 manpower, but you need to pay 20,000 upkeep. Then tank, for tank you need 1 motor part and 0.25 units of steel, and these two you have to get from factories. Then you have anti-aircraft, so it shoots down planes. Artillery shoots down naval units and ground enemies. Attacker, planes. For attackers, bombers, and fighters, you need to make an aircraft manufacturer. Then you have your destroyer, frigate. Destroyer and frigate are for free and submarine, but aircraft carrier and battleship, for a battleship you need steel, and for an aircraft carrier you need steel and aircraft parts. For a nuke, you need to first get the technology in research. Go up, you can see nuclear research. So it's 2000, 2000, 2000. It's 7,000 research. Do it. Oh, come on. Really, bro? Come on, chat. Please. Yeah. So, after units, but you can also see that you can scorch your city or city. It's where you can give somebody your land without like fighting. Then you have your buildings. If you click on buildings, the best part. So recruitment center increases manpower. Development city increases your tier, so it increases your manpower and tax gain. Because if you look at economy and city overview, you can see that there's only one place that's tier 2, which is always your capital, and there's all the others are tier 1. So developing them slowly will get them higher tiers. Then you have your back. Then you have fortifications. Fortifications help with like increasing defensive bonuses. So if a army, let's say if there's 10,000, no, 100,000 against 50,000, the 50,000 would be if they had fortifications and being entrenched. Then you have your airport. Airport helps you with building planes, but all capitals start with an airport, so you can build planes on your capital. Then you have your civilian factories. To make a civilian factory, you need 3 electronics, 3 motor parts, and 2.5 fertilizer. You can use civilian factories to make consumer goods, and you can use those consumer goods to increase your stability. And you can use those consumer goods to building civilian factories in like cities also increases the resource output, meaning like it makes resources as civilian factory and increases your income. Then you have your motor factory, which needs 1 unit of steel, 2 units of tungsten. So let's do it. Motor factory. Fertilizer factory is 2.5 units of phosphorus. And yeah, that helps with making fertilizer to help with making the civilian factory. Then you have your steel. So steel and motor factories help with making tanks. Electronics help with also with the civilian factory, but electronics are very good for selling, which is the good. And then you have your aircraft manufacturing, which helps with making your aircraft. So let's say I want to, and then you have mines, which doubles the production of raw material. Solar station, which makes you see from a radius, like if there's submarines here and I can't see, if I put a solar station, I can see that submarine. Then uranium entrencher and silo. And that's kind of it. To move the troops, you have to circle it. I forgot. So if you see here that each troop, when you're building a troop, it has a rank. And if you see that on the military here, doctrines, if you want mass attack, it says infantry starting experience 0.3333. That means the experience that this guy has over here will lower down. I mean, that will have lower attack and defense bonuses. If you want to increase their attack and defense bonuses, you have to start training. But if you want to say, oh, I'm going to attack an area that has a lot of jungle, so I will train them in jungle specialization, which can mean they'll fight better in jungle, like move better. Yeah. And then you can assign your group with the group that you made from your military. Then you have your reinforcements on, because every time, let's say if it loses 10k reinforcements, that means you'll use your manpower to reinforce it again. Then halt is to make it stop. So if I'm moving it and I say hold it again, I say halt. Okay, bro, move. So if I get my troop and he's moving, you see? Sorry, my games. Okay, look, and I press halt. He stops. He was supposed to go there, but I press halt. And then you have split in half. It splits in half. Auto merge. So if I split them a lot, and I press auto merge, so off and then on again, I'll get all those stacks back together. Then you have form line. Form line is that if, let's say you have this whole stack right here. I got this whole stack right here. I can say, let's surround the capital. And then it'll form a line surrounding the capital. So if you want to make, so like if I'm moving like this, I can click it. But if I press shift, I can move to different places or make some shapes. Like if I want to go around, like if I want to make troops around Nigeria, I can go like this. All around Nigeria. And then form line to make troops around the Nigerian border. Then you have entrenchment. Entrenchment helps with defense of the unit. So if a unit attacks you without entrenchment and you attack with entrenchment, they'll have a bigger bonus modifiers. Then you have auto capture. So if you're attacking a country, it will show the country's name here, and then you can just tell your troops to auto capture it. Yeah. And that is the Rise of Nations. Ooh, I forgot, guys. I forgot. So if you can know that if your factory does not work, it can say over here with notifications over here. Or if your factory is actually red. If your factory is actually red, it means it's not working. So let's say Oh, I want to make myself my steel factory, so I need five iron. So it says, so if let's say India makes 7 iron daily, I can get 5 iron daily if I buy. But if I buy bulk, that means I buy for one time. So let's say I'll buy from India 5 every day. That means India will now produce 2 every day. Then you have your titanium. Looks like everybody got it. Damn. Oh, perfect. Let's see. I'll buy 70 bulk from Morocco. And then I'll buy 70 bulk from South Africa. You can understand, right? So now, see, my steel manufacturer is white, and my motor factory is white, so that means they're working, and that means I am producing motor parts and steel, meaning that I can make tanks. But the only way you can make tanks is on Square Cities. Okay.